Hey y'all, welcome back. I have another guide here for the War Within, and it's for the Jewelcrafting Shaping Specialization. I was finally able to get my Jewelcrafting tools made to 590, so I'm at max skill in Jewelcrafting now. And I wanted to start testing some numbers when it came to crafting things with the rank 3 materials with max skill. I've learned quite a lot from this and wanted to share what I've learned to help people better understand the War Within's shaping tree, and also to help you guys save some gold and optimize their uses of the shaping tree. Now, with most expansions, the materials will always sell for more than whatever you're looking to create with them, right? So knowing that cost can really help you choose to find the best use for those materials you have spent either time farming with your alt or that you've bought off the auction house, okay? Now, let's get into the breakdown of the two sides of the shaping specialization, the crushing and the prospecting side, and then your base reagents. Okay, before we get too far into this, let's talk about my tools, stats, enchants, and what we're trying to really focus on with this build for shaping, okay? Now, I'm trying to emphasize this a little bit again, material costs or materials are probably going to sell just straight up for more profit across the board by trying instead of trying to craft a lot of stuff. If you're looking to risk it a little bit, play a little bit, on the edge, you could see potential profits, like huge profits, if you get lucky. Okay. So what we're going to be focusing on for once are so I had a little goof, I should say, not really goof. Eventually, I'm going to have to get one either way, but when I created my clamps, my tools for jewel crafting, right, I put the multicrafting missive on it instead of the resourcefulness. Okay. Now I'm gonna need a multicrafting clamps anyways, but I should have done resourcefulness first and then done multicrafting second, because there's no point in having multicrafting proc if I don't have the materials to create something, right? And saving materials is better in the long run at the beginning when you're doing something like this with the crushing and prospecting side of things, right? So you really need to make sure that you have a resourceful uh, enchant or a resourcefulness tool first. Okay, so instead of the 900 allotted Artisan's Acuity that you would normally just need to get 3, you're gonna need 13 or 1200 Artisan's Acuity to get a second tool made that has the resourcefulness on it or the multi-crafting, whichever one you didn't make. So, like, I have a green one in my bag right here. So when I want to swap over to when I do things like crushing and things like that, I'll have a resourcefulness to save myself on materials. And then I'll just pop back on my multi-crafting when I come back down here to the basic reagents tab and I start creating things, okay? And obviously what you'll want to do there is, get it enchanted with the 120 resourcefulness for both weapon or for both tools, you know. And so we are going to be basically trying to do multi-crafting, proc hunting with this build. A resourcefulness to save us on our materials while we use our ore to get our reagents. And then when we're down here creating stuff, we want to be able to swap over to multi-crafting bonuses to then, um, you know, maximize our chances at making more of what we're making. There's also the finishing reagent. There's 2 of them that you can look into getting. I kind of like the gritty polishing cloth here, which is a 300 resourcefulness buff. Uh, I think tailors make it or something. And then there's another one down here, which is a 300 multi-crafting. Now, I didn't check out the resourcefulness cloth or nothing, but I did check out the mirror powder. It's made by enchanters, and they're selling for like 830 gold a piece on the auction house. So they're pretty expensive. Um, so I would either, level up enchanting yourself and find a way to make them yourself, or maybe a friend, or just bite the bullet and buy the cheaper, versions. The 180 and the 240 ones to just give you that little edge extra, on your multi-crafting percentage while you're doing your basic reagent craftings, right? So, all right, so that's out of the way. Let's get into crushing. Now, crushing is pretty self-explanatory, right? You put 3 gems in the slot up here. Now, all of the gems in the War Within have leveled out to about 20 to 25 gold apiece. They're super cheap, right? So they're not really going to break the bank if you have to go there and buy some, right? But if you're doing prospecting in any way, shape, or form, you should see a pile of them in your bag, okay? Of all types. So the other thing too is bismuth is probably one of the most expensive ores in the game right now because it is required in a lot of other professions, not just jewel crafting. So it is very sought after. The rank 3 material I think is selling for about 130 or so gold today. All these values that I'm going to be talking about today are current October 4th values. So definitely want to. These are not like a week or two old pricings. These are up to date, and so you know, 130 gold for a single piece of ore is kind of expensive when you start buying these in stacks and stacks and stacks, right? So basically, what you do, right? If you have all your blue, 590 tools, right? You've got 300 skill. You've got your everything else. My specialization in this tree, obviously, I have nothing in jewel cutting or gem cutting, nothing in jewel crafting. I'm strictly shaping for this character. I went 30 points into shaping, 15 points into glasswork, 15 into masonry, and then 40 points into gem fighting. Now, obviously, I have some points down here, but these really aren't a big deal. I mean, they're not that big of an issue. I think I went 5, 5, 5, and 5, and then I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going around the wheel again, putting 5 into each one of these as I go. Okay, so, but as you can tell, even with just what I have, I'm still able to make some of all this stuff at rank 3 quality. So, as long as I'm using rank 3 materials, right? So let's get into the crushing side of things. This is going to be where you're going to be getting your dust. Now, I'm going to call it dust. It's basically the crushed gemstone stuff, but I'm going to call it dust just to make it easier. We need as much of this rank 3 dust as possible when we are going to be using it for our basic reagent crafts, okay? Now, I was kind of usually when it comes to converting one material into another, there's a loss. You lose value on the material you're creating from the other materials. So like bismuth, it's a very sought after ore right now, and it's very expensive, right? So converting that into something else, especially a 10 stack of it into something else, usually is pretty risky. Now, when I did this, I went to the auction house and bought 100 stack of rank 3 bismuth, and then did crushing with it. And the bismuth cost me about 13,300 gold, okay, for 100 stack. When I converted it with crushing into the dust, I got 86 rank 3 dust out of it, okay? Now that dust was valued at 154 gold per dust. Now that was about 13,300 gold in value itself. So that was really nice to see that the conversion from bismuth and ores to dust was about the same value. It wasn't a huge discrepancy in like what I was actually turning it into versus what I was using to make it. So that was really nice, and that's going to help you out a lot because the dust, you need a lot of it when you're using it for some of these crafts in the basic reagents. So that's really nice that you're going to basically break even as far as your gold spent on ore and what you're turning it into. So that's pretty cool. So prospecting. This has two functions. Okay. One is obviously the most noticeable. It's just to find gems, right? But the second use for this is to actually find crafting reagents. And you get these things passively by failing to find gems. So these handful of pebbles and these glittering glass, these are just byproducts from not actually finding a gem when you prospect, right? But these materials are also required heavily in your basic reagents crafts as well. So the way to kind of cheese this, I wouldn't say cheese this, but use the prospecting system in the most effective manner is when you're prospecting, just use rank 1 ores like the iron claw and the acarite. don't use bismuth at all, because bismuth is usable in other things, obviously. But you could probably sell your rank 1 and 2 bismuth, keep your rank 3 bismuth, and use whatever profit you make from your rank 1 and 2 bismuth to then purchase your Acuite and Iron Claws if you're just doing an auction house thing, or you're farming and you want to convert it, you know. So you can make a decent amount of gold on your bismuth, and then this Acuite and Iron Claw ore are pretty cheap on the auction house. Um, but so yeah, you want to use rank 1 ores to maximize your chances of failing to find gems so you can get the most chances of finding your pebbles and your glass. That's how you want to maximize farming those. But if you want to, let's say you need a bunch of gems for some reason, right? That you don't have like a ton of them lying around already, you can start using your rank 2 quality and rank 3 quality Iron Claw and Acuite gems, or to then find or have a higher chance at finding more gems versus finding your crafting reagents of pebbles and glass. Okay, that's a way you use prospecting more effectively. Okay, we'll jump down here to the basic reagents tab real quick, and I'm going to go over some pricing and what I found out as I was doing this test today, or this little, you know. So decorative lenses are used in a lot of things and stuff, and they are probably the most expensive um, craft out of all this, out of all these things. But so let me put it this way: it's going to cost you 10 glittering glass, 2 ambers, and 4 dust. All right. In current market prices, that's about 1,800 gold in material costs. Okay. Um, so, and then you see up here, you're only able to create like 1 to 2 of them. Like, there's like a variance on how much you can actually get to make, right? So let's say we're not going to incorporate our multi-crafting proc at all. We're not gonna guarantee. We're gonna say that that doesn't exist at the moment. Okay. Your base value or your base material cost for this, just to do it once, is 1,800 gold. Okay. Your profit on this is going to vary. If you only make one of these, you're looking about a 950 to 1,000 gold, uh, you know, on just one of them, which is about an 800 or so gold net loss on your investment, right? If you make 2 of them, you're looking about, a 200 gold gain, a 200 gold net plus, if you can create 2 of them. So that's, it's kind of a, you know, incentive obviously to make 2, as much of these as you can. But it's up to the system. If you're lucky and you keep making 2s and 2s and 2s, you're awesome. You're making profit. Not much, 200 gold here and there. But if you only make 1, you're losing a huge amount of gold from your investment at 800 gold. So this is where the multi-crafting stacking really is going to shine for you. If you can get multi-crafting procs to just keep coming in and keep coming in, each one of those multi-crafting procs is pure profit, right? You're not investing any more materials into it. It's just free multi-crafting procs. And that's where you're going to see a ton of your profit when you do this. Um, but it's very nice. It's very good actually to come in, like I said, and see what your base material cost is gonna be, and then you could be like, oh dang, that is really risky. If I only make one of these, I just lost 800 gold in what I put in, right? But it's kind of like the lottery, more or less. I mean, you're kind of gambling your materials to luckily get a multi-crafting proc to get a whole huge boost of profit, right? So I kind of enjoy this kind of way of crafting. And then, like I said, with the finishing reagents, if you get one of these mirrors at 300, 240, or 180, right, you could just increase your chances even more, right? Um, let's go down to the gilded vial. Same thing. We're looking at 6 glass, 1 amber, 3 dust. The material cost is about 1,300 gold. If you make 3 at a base, you're looking about 900 gold. It's about a 400 gold net loss. If you make about 5, you're looking about 1,500 gold, about a 200 gold net profit from that. So, and that's not counting multi-crafting procs. Same thing. Let's go down to the engraved gem cutters. If we were looking at this and we're looking at 5 pebbles 1 glittering glass, 5 bismuth, you're looking about a 1,300 gold material cost investment. If you made 2 at the low end, you're looking about 700 gold, which is about a 600 gold net loss. If you made just 3, you made about 1,100 gold. You're looking around a 200 gold loss, not counting multicrafting. And then the marbled stone, okay? Those are going to cost you 4 pebbles and 3 bismuth, which is about 1,000 gold material costs. It's just straight up. If you made about 3 of those stones, you're looking about a 600 gold, 400 gold net loss there. If you made 4, you're looking about 800 gold, which is about a 200 gold loss, right? So I really think the status quo for every expansion, where materials have just sell for more than what you're making, is still the standard, for everything. But if you can get super lucky, which isn't my forte, with these multi-crafting procs, you could see insane amount of profit if you get a really nice multi-crafting proc. So that's kind of what I've learned in like the past, few. I was testing this today for about maybe 5 or 6 hours or something like that, and that's kind of what I've learned. I thought I'd make this little guide here real quick to maybe someone didn't know about it or wanted a little bit more information on how to actually use this shaping tree a little bit more efficiently. And I hope it helps someone out. So until next time, thanks for watching.